everybody, it's Lacey.
And I'm Lauren.
And welcome to another episode of the Lawmas Podcast.
And today we have Wendi on, who we call our producer and friend, and she's here. Me and her went to see Theresa Caputo at the Spartanburg Memorial Auditorium because we know we've talked about mediums and stuff on the show. So it was obviously podcast research. Lacey was supposed to accompany us, but she was not able to due to some car issues. So she's going to hear about our experience and weigh in on her thoughts. But we went to this, I think it was in March or April. I can't remember. It's been a little while, and we had been trying to record this episode, but life has been really happening hard for everyone in this group. So it's taken us a little while. And so first I'm going to let Wendi kind of give her thoughts on the experience and Theresa and everything.
So I thought it was interesting. Yeah, it was podcast research, but I've watched a little bit of her on TV. I didn't know what to expect, but I felt like it was uplifting. I felt like it was positive. Some people had, they cried and things like that and were working through grief. But she really just comes out like a Barbie doll and starts talking about how long she's had this gift, and she starts seeing things and hearing things and asking who understands what this means and starts working through the audience. And so I would say next time we need to sit up front.
How long did she say she had the gift?
Since she was like elementary school age.
Did she but what made her kind of realize it was a gift? Did she kind of go into that?
She's talked about it. I've seen that on the internet more than what she talked about on stage. She knew it, but then I don't think that she really worked on it and got into it until years later when she was an adult. Isn't that right, Lauren? She knew and her family knew, but she was raised Catholic. And so it was one of those things where she didn't really pursue it for a long time, but it just wouldn't go away.
That's what I was going to say. She does come out there and say she is a Catholic. She was raised Catholic. She's from New Jersey. She's still Catholic. And she is religious. So it's not, I think there was some shame and guilt for her as a child because, being religious, that might have made it harder. So I think maybe she didn't really pursue it till it got to the point she had to pursue it. I think it's just part of her daily life now.
How old was she? Did she ever say how old she was when she finally accepted him? Okay,
I'm gonna look this up while we're talking because I want to see. She was a young adult.
I'm curious.
She doesn't go a whole lot into her personal story because she starts pretty much going straight into the audience and talking to people. So it's not a whole lot of her just standing up at the front and I've never been to something like this at an event before. We've talked about, we've been to mediums, but I've never been to an event medium. So I didn't know, was she just going to stand up there? But no, the second she comes out, she gives a little blurb about her and then she's out in the audience.
Yeah. So I just found this. She started seeing and sensing spirits around the age of 4, but she did not work as a medium until she was in her 30s, and she's in her late 50s now, I think.
Oh, wow. That's a very long time to I'm sure she had certain situations just close to her, and she'll talk to family members and friends and then finally realize okay, I can do more with this.
With her attitude, I will say she is there. Maybe she's a con artist. I don't know. But with her attitude, she is very intuitive. She very much speaks to what people need to hear. She's very kind. She is from New Jersey, so you're going to hear some bad words and that type stuff. But she just seemed to be an easy person to talk to. And everything she did, I felt helped people. For instance, there was a guy there who had been putting off his wedding because his mom had passed away. And he kind of felt like his life kind of stalled because he missed his mom. And she said his mom said, go ahead, get married, live your life, enjoy your life, that type stuff. So it gave him the courage to be who he was and continue living his life, even though his mom wasn't there. And, it is hard to think about getting married without your mom or dad there, if you've been close to them. And for him, honestly, he was crying. He was emotional. I felt it was genuine. If it wasn't, he's an amazing actor, and so is she. because it truly felt genuine from them.
So how did she kind of spot, like, did he raise his hand? Did she say, has somebody lost a like, how is that initiated in the
She starts it.
She'll
okay.
start it, and then like when towards the back, she would say she got up near this lady and she said, "Has anybody lost like a family member from taking a pill that had fentanyl in it?" And this girl raised her hand, maybe 4 or 5 seats in from the aisle, but they had to move the cameras and the mics and Theresa back there. And she described the lady's brother, talked about his hair and how he was very cocky, but he was kind and that he was okay. And I mean, she was just sobbing, and he did not know he was doing it. So
Right.
he said he was sorry, but that he wouldn't want to come back, that he was happy.
Oh,
Well, and I think
wow.
some of it and part of it too is she lets you know that, like, just because she doesn't talk to you doesn't mean your loved one isn't there, doesn't care.
Mm-hmm.
She is one person, and the whole bottom of Spark Memorial Auditorium was full. So, like, she can only handle so much in that, like, hour and a half, 2 hours she's with you. So, and sometimes she would say, if you think something resonates with you, just because I don't come to you doesn't mean it's not for you. So
Right.
there were things that could honestly touch multiple people. And so she said, don't think it's not for you too. So she tried to make you feel included in everything.
Right. Right. Would y'all go again? If so, what would you do different?
Like Wendi said, sit up front.
So is that kind of where she stayed the most?
Oh yeah, because she was up on the stage and the lights and everything, and then she came down the stairs and started working her way back. I did see that Tyler Henry's getting ready to go on tour.
Oh,
He
I love
is.
him.
So I'll have to
Yes.
see where he goes.
Yeah, I think with her, like, she kind of focuses in an area. And she did come, we were in the probably cheapest seats there near the back. She came quasi close to us, but never came to our section. And, like, she
Mhm.
didn't go too far on the outliers. She kind of stayed in this middle area. So I think if, like, you're planning to go, get your seats down front in the middle, because she's much more likely to come there. And I think that's just not a medium thing, but just a person thing. Like, she can't float around the whole thing. So she
Yeah.
goes where she can. She was funny. She would pick up people's popcorn and eat it. Um, she she was down to earth, and, like, there was one woman she was really focusing in on, and you could tell the woman was nervous and really didn't know about being a part of it, but eventually she got it out of her, and the lady was crying. And I will say probably 90% of the people she talked to ended up in tears. Not even, like, always sad, but just, like, they emotionally felt something. Like, one was grandma told mom she was a sucky cook, and, like, it was legit. They laughed but cried at the same
Right.
time, kind of
Right.
thing. So honestly, I really enjoyed it. I mean, if you think she's fake, that's fine, but it's still, like, a good time. Like, I think going into it, I didn't really have a whole lot of expectations, but
No,
I left just I had a good time. It was fun. It was enjoyable. I will go back. I will buy better seats. Um, but I went in thinking mediums are real. So, I mean, obviously, if you go in thinking mediums are fake, I don't think she's going to truly 100% convince you of that, because you're always going
Mhm.
to have your doubts. But I mean, just if you go in with an open mind, it's a good experience.
Yeah.
and I think I was telling you once that I saw talked to a medium, and I had a friend who was murdered, and I didn't tell her anything about her because she was killed before Facebook came around, so there's really nothing about her online. She knew about her sister, her dad. She knew things. And it was reassuring to me that she was actually hearing from her. And then in the same session, but later, she kept saying, "All my grandparents were trying to talk to me, and they were trying to like push each other aside to get to her to say things." And she described, she said, "I think it's your great grandmother. She has a blanket over her lap, and that's how my great grandmother always sat in a chair." And they said things that that nobody else would know. So, I don't go around seeking mediums, but I do believe there are people who have those strengths, power, skills, whatever. And if that's what you need to feel better about things or process grief, then that's what you do.
I am seeking a medium. Like, I really want to talk to one, but I don't know. I mean, I've Googled, but I don't know which ones, like.
I feel like the real ones aren't always out on Google.
I
They
agree.
word of mouth. There is
I
a
agree.
lady, her Instagram handle is like spiritual thick or something. She's a curvy lady. But that's the one I've seen, and no, I didn't find her by going out and Googling. It's kind of a funny story. So my paralegal sister is a hairdresser, and she found out about her from one of the elderly ladies that goes to her. And then it's a small world because I ended up meeting this elderly lady at an event I spoke at. But it was all through word of mouth. Like, it was not, but I will send y'all her Instagram handle, but I think it's like spiritual thick. But I felt she was real. She's also a Christian. And I feel like it's important to me that they do have that side of them because
Right.
I want to know it's somebody like that believes. And her whole purpose is she doesn't really call herself a medium. She calls herself a shaman, which I think is kind of some of the same stuff. But she's a spiritual healer as well. So like she can help you get through like hard times, and like she does Reiki and all that stuff. But it's a little woo woo in her shop. Like, she's in the basement of the Montgomery building here in Spartanburg. It's a nice building, but you go in there, there's crystals, there's sage. There's also
I just found her. I'm gonna email her.
So,
If any of our listeners are curious to book a session, you can call her directly.
our text.
646419026. And then her email address is spiritualthick, THICK, at outlook.com. So
if you come up to do a photo shoot, Lacey, you can do 2 in 1 medium session and pictures.
She was really nice. I did cry with her. She told me dogs go to heaven, which I really appreciated because I needed that. I just wonder if they go to heaven, do they talk? Like, are dogs in dog form or do they become people?
Oh, I hope they can talk.
Like, I need to know if Harvey loved me, which I know he did, just as much as I loved him. So, like, he was really good, though. There's also, I don't know if you remember her from high school, Lacey, but Sherian Wales. I don't know what her name. I don't know if that was her name. She was on the flag line.
Sherian, don't hate me.
Well, she was 2 years older than us.
Okay,
But she was on the flag line in high school. She's actually a medium. I don't think she really promotes it as being a medium. She's like a holistic healer. But she did come sage my office, and she told me there was a little redheaded boy in here. And
is he the one moving the papers around?
Mm-hmm. And like, we have some really old furniture in here, so he might have came with the furniture. We now have 2 cats though, so I don't know if they ran him out or if the cats and him play. But
well, I told you about Kayla's little cousin that's here now. My paralegal, a new paralegal. Sometimes the toys in my office will go off. They never started doing that till she worked here, and now every now and then they'll just go off. And one time she told me the story of, I think she had a little cousin that passed as a baby, and it just made her really sad. And so I'm very convinced that he is now in our office and plays with the toys sometimes because the toys will be off.
That happens in my house at night. And it's funny because it happened about a year ago going into Mother's Day, and it was a toy that Gam Gam had given the girls. So I have no doubt it was Gam Gam turning that toy on to give us a sign. It was a little playhouse, and it started singing. Of course, I freak out. And then I think my mom about it, and she's like, well, it's Mother's Day. She's like, that was probably Gam Gam. And I was like,
oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yep. I think it's all really cool and interesting. And I do think there's people with gifts. If you are watching this and you are a medium and you want to come be on here, we would 100% welcome you, love for you to read us. Or if you think you're spiritually gifted in those ways, just let us know. And we would love to have you here.
Do you think this girl would come on?
I mean, we can ask. I don't know if she would do it for free because, I mean, it is a service, but we could always ask her if we paid her, would she come on here?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll email her, Lauren, if it's okay with you, and just say that we have a podcast, that you've met with her, that I've always wanted. Is that something that she could do on a podcast or not? Or could we ask her questions and see what she says?
And she will do Zoom services. So, I mean, I don't think she has to physically be present with you.
Okay. Yeah, let's see what happens. I'm going to email her.
Well, we will keep you updated on that. Send us your thoughts on Medium. Send us your thoughts on all of this. And we would love to hear from you.
Yep. And any other stories, or that's it? Well, that's all we have for this week. I really hate I missed it. I've been wanting to meet with a medium for a very long time. I've just had really close ones that passed, and I've actually had 2 family deaths this year. And so I'm curious to see if they come through with anything. But I was like, every time we're at the pool, we see a red cardinal, for Katie's mom. And so, but yeah, I'm really curious. So we're going to reach out to her, and we'll keep y'all posted on if we have another episode on this topic. If not, catch us next week.
All right. Bye.
Bye.